Welcome back, NoDQ Galaxy, to a brand new edition of the NoDQ Review, number 216. I am Virtue, being joined by this week's elite panel of NoDQ. Of course, Colin the Cleaver Andrew is back in the house. Josh Mansfield has joined us. Big G is happy to be here. And as always, Aaron Riff, the boss, is here. What's up, guys? Colin, I'll start with you, man. What's going on?
Interesting day at work. My food provider this morning decided to snap the key off in the back door, so I had to go down early and adjust in my schedule, and here I am one last time for 2022. So I'm pumped to be here, and we got some cool topics, some interesting topics, so it should be a fun show. Let's get into it.
These are column-worthy topics that we're going to cover live right here on the NoDQ Review.
Bum, bum.
Big G, what's up?
I'm doing pretty good. I was off today, so stayed inside. We had icy rain, a little bit of snow, but other than that, stayed in, watched some movies with the wife. So nice chill day today.
Nice. Look, am I looking dapper? Look at that. I got everything trimmed. I've been working out. Like, look at this.
I got a trim not too long ago, too.
I'm getting ready for Christmas time, eating all the holiday cookies and stuff. I need to prepare myself. Josh Mansfield, what's up?
Not much. Virtue, doing good. But as good as I can with how our Browns are sucking. Yes, well, myself and Cleaver.
Don't claim me. Don't.
I will claim you.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Well, we're not here about football. We're here about wrestling.
Sure.
So you ready? You ready to talk about these hot topics for this week, Josh?
Oh, you have no idea.
We got some good ones, man. Aaron, how's traffic been? What's been your big bombshell topic this week that's brought the most attention to the site? Be fair, be honest.
It's been a busy week, but Vince McMahon, that was a noteworthy story this week. It got some traffic. I must say, though, Mandy Rose took it to a whole new level, and things have really blown up this week. I thought we were just going to be able to focus on one big topic, and now we got two big topics for this week. Looking forward to tonight. Virtue, you're looking very good. Colin, happy to have you on. Love the attire, the hat, the shirt. Big G's got the hat as well. And Josh Mansfield also looking festive for December. Let's go ahead and get into this. But before we begin, I do want to read off Sun Goshuaku's $2 super chat. He won the No DQ Predictions League again. So congratulations to him. He says, what are y'all's favorite kayfabe firing moment in WWE? I guess I'll start. Not Bobby Lashley getting fired, because they went back on that literally the next day. I think I would have to say the classic Vince McMahon firing Steve Austin at the end of that. Which pay-per-view was it in October of 98? Judgment Day? They switched the names around.
I don't remember, man.
Where he's like, screw you, you're fired. That was my favorite moment. And then Vince pissed his pants the next night.
I gotta go.
Virtue, do you have one?
Nah, in the wrestling, I mean, they all come back at some point. So, not
Colin?
Bischoff getting taken out when he got fired by McMahon. Wasn't he thrown in the back of the garbage truck?
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That was always up there in my. So,
Josh?
It's a tie between Triple H firing Vince on behalf of the board in 2012 and then Vince firing Laurinaitis.
All right. And Big G?
I might have to go with Colin. I like that one. That one sticks out.
I think
most. I remember when Vince, he told him he was fired. John Cena gave him the FU, and then Vince literally picked up Eric Bischoff and threw him in the back of the dumpster.
the worst one ever was the Bobby Lashley one. Like, who's Adam Pearce? You're not firing anybody. I don't believe that you have any power. You're a fake on-screen character, like awful, horrible. Do not buy it. And of course, they went back on it because they knew it was so bad. They're like, what the hell did we just do? Awful. Like, that's the worst ever.
I would say they probably went back on it because they knew what was coming in that night and Wednesday.
So, nonetheless, Aaron, anything else before we get started here?
I'm ready to get into it.
All right, first topic. we're going to talk about Mandy Rose. So is this official, Aaron? I mean, you know how WWE used to say, good luck in your future endeavors? Mandy Rose has put some stuff out. Do we know 100% sure she is gone from WWE? For all these rumors.
She more or less confirmed it. She did post something on her subscription site saying that the site would still be up. I mean, she definitely did not deny anything. So
she lost the NXT title. She was running. She does this site, whatever, for these perverts out there that want to see skin, whatever. You know, no judgment. Porn's all over the internet. But like when you work for WWE, publicly traded company that has a lot of sponsors, and then they don't make money off of that stuff, especially, it's not going to work out. And so they let her go. And it's funny because in the past, they would want their female talent to go and do things like that, even if they made money outside of the company. Remember Playboy? Because that was part of, like, they were edgy. They were supposed to have sex appeal. And here we are now, Mandy Rose getting released. So we could talk about where she's going to end up. Is she just going to be a cam girl now or whatever they call that these days? If she's making a ton of money, she could go on Twitch. There's these no-name girls on Twitch with millions of followers getting people donating money to them. Like, you don't have to wrestle to make money in this world when you're an attractive female. So let's see, who should we start with? Big G. What's your thoughts here on the whole Mandy Rose situation? Yes, Aaron.
Real quick, Big G, I gotta say this real fast before we start with your thoughts. Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. He said, Big G would get excited for a Double J OnlyFans.
Yeah, no, thank you. No,
What?
thank you.
We know you love Double J. Don't deny it.
I'm waiting for
Oh
you.
My God, we're never gonna live this down.
There it is.
This is like a rib on me.
Oh God!
Look at you, just in awe, shock.
I'm in shock.
Just like
mesmerized,
starstruck. You never thought you would see the guy that wasn't just the TNA champion, but he was a former WCW World Champion as well.
All right, so this whole Mandy Rose thing, oh my God, this was ridiculous yesterday. I had to mute like 3 or 4 chats because that's all they talked about. I get why WWE let her go, but you know, Mandy Rose, I don't know if she had told him that she was doing this or she should have told, you know, like HBK and Triple H, everybody who runs WWE, you know, saying, I'm doing this thing on the side. It may show a little bit of nudity, not a whole lot, but you know, something like in that. But like you were saying, Virtue, back in, you know, the early 2000s, you had China on Playboy, you had Dawn Marie, you had Sable, you had Maria, you know,
Christy
and it was
Hemme.
very, I don't know if the times have changed or what it is, but I mean, if she's making money for herself, that's fine, because we know that WWE is not getting any profit from that. But it's just so crazy that, you know, I've liked Mandy Rose. You know, she started off at Tough Enough. She really wasn't that great. She was on the main roster for a while. Had the thing with Otis. She went back down to NXT, dyed her hair black. She pretty much recreated herself, you know, had the whole Toxic Attraction thing. And, you know, she lost the title on Tuesday, and we were thinking, you know, that she's going to make her way to the main roster, because that's what usually happens. And here we find out, she's gone. Okay. So, I mean, AEW or Impact can pick her up. It would be, you know, AEW would be foolish not to pick her up. Like I said, she's honed her craft. She's become a better wrestler in the ring, better on the mic. And I could see her potentially, if it's not Sasha, I could see Mandy being potentially Soraya's mystery partner for that match against Britt Baker. No.
When is that match again?
January. Okay, maybe
yeah,
not.
her 90 days won't be up because she was still, from what I understand, operating on a main roster contract.
All right. I was thinking way ahead, but down the line, AEW or Impact would be foolish not to pick Mandy up. if WWE doesn't, rethink it and rehire. So that's my take on it.
So Big G, like, here's when I saw, anytime somebody leaves WWE or they're fired, it's the whole where are they going next?
Right.
Mandy Rose, she knows she doesn't need wrestling.
Right. She doesn't need it.
She should not, like, if she is okay with this and she's making tons of money on a website by just being a model, we'll just say she's a model with respect. She does not need to go anywhere with the wrestling.
I mean, that's what she did.
She got her platform with WWE to get people to know who she is.
Right.
Now she's got those fans, hook, line, and sinker. I don't think she's upset one bit about this, especially if she's already out there putting stuff on her site about, like, I'm okay, here's my site.
Right.
And, and she wasn't like moving needles in WWE. Right. Let's be honest. She wasn't on the main roster.
No.
If it was the Attitude Era, the way she looks, she could move needles for sure. Right. But I'm telling you, I just don't think it matters to her. And she used wrestling, which is what you're supposed to do, to get to, more mainstream. And even if it's the internet, that's fine. It's 2022. Internet can be mainstream for girls like her. Josh, what do you think here? Because you're probably all about her wrestling career. I don't know if she cares about that.
Exactly, which is sad. But here's the thing. No matter what way you want to look at, from a legal standpoint, from a contract standpoint, WWE was absolutely 100% in the right. They were absolutely in the right to do this for her breaching her contract. Yes, they have deals with their
time out real quick. Would you say the same thing if Vince McMahon was in charge and this happened versus this being the Triple H era? I'm asking you because that's what I'm here to do.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Yeah. Absolutely. WWE was in the right to do this. She had her contract. She had in her contract about her site of things she could and could not do. Mandy had apparently said to others that she knew her content, if it got out, would get her in trouble and possibly fired. She did this knowingly what it would do, and exactly that. Now, did WWE probably want to fire her? Probably not, but they have their sponsors telling them to fire her, specifically Mattel. You think Mattel, a children's action figure company, is going to want to be making action figures of a superstar who's basically doing porn? You really think that they're going to want to do that? Now, you can say Attitude Era. Yes, Attitude Era was a different time. Ruthless Aggression Era, different time. People try and bring up, Charlotte did the thing for ESPN. Would you actually seeing full frontal and actually seeing things? No. That is not comparable to what Mandy Rose was doing on her subscription site. Absolutely not. And apparently the door is open if Mandy wants to come back, from what I've read. Question is, does she? Right now it doesn't sound like it, which is sad since wrestling and WWE is what gave her platform to begin with. Now, if the release was all on WWE's side, if it was Mandy requested it, or if it was a combination of the two because of a situation, we don't know. But the fact of the matter is WWE was completely in the right to fire her for her breach of contract. Flat out. And everyone bemoaning, she, WWE shouldn't have done that, etc., whatever. Grow up. Grow up, be men, and just stop being horn dogs about everything.
So I take it you don't have a subscription to her site? Or
not in the slightest. I don't care to.
I knew that. Well, Josh, there you go. Colin, take a sip, breathe, relax. The floor is yours.
All right. So there's like 100 things that Josh said that I just want to rebuttal, kind of. When you say Mattel doesn't want to make someone who's doing pornographic stuff, when was the last time a China action figure was made, or a Sable, or anybody along those lines that has done this stuff before? What happened when Paige's stuff was leaked and literally a dude busted a nut on the NXT Women's Championship, and nothing happened to Paige. Nothing happened to Seth Rollins because shit was leaked. Okay, it's a little different if she put this fully out of herself, but if it was all leaked, somebody else could have been behind it in the end. You know what I'm saying? So all these other people that, Ricochet, etc., that have all had their stuff leaked, nothing happened to them whatsoever. You know what I mean? So I understand the breach of contract with Mattel to a point, but if you say they don't want to make people that are doing or action figures after pornographic people, why are the Usos still getting action figures made? Because that dude has DUI Central and nothing happens to him. Like if you want to keep throwing them up, I'm going to keep slapping them down to you because there's 100 other times on this story too that WWE, if they were in the pocket making some money off this, I really don't think it'd have been as much of an issue too. Back in the day, they probably had some type of contracted issue thing with Playboy that they're going to make such and such money off this because this is our contracted person. We're allowing them to do this. There's always a side hustle. There's always a middleman. You got to make that cheddar. So if they were in on it too, because the reports are true that she was making more money than she is with a contract, shit, I'd be doing that stuff too. You know what I mean? And from the videos that I've seen, you can't really fully see stuff. I've had some people send in another group chat that I'm in. I'm not trying to really go out of my way to look, and find. It's not like, a married man, damn it.
Journalistic purposes.
Yeah, journalistic
Journalistic
purposes.
purposes.
Yes, journalistic purposes. But still, like from what I've seen, it's kind of a lot of bullshit to me. But on the legal side of things, I do understand it. Her going forward, though, I mean, AEW would be dumb not to bring her in because she reinvented herself in a great way. She was the most over woman in NXT on their roster. And NXT's women's roster, I mean, they're good, but it's not like it was in years prior. Sorry, she... Damn, excuse me. She yeah, I know, right? No, it's just, I think they made a mistake. I think they overshot it.
Do you think a suspension would have?
A suspension, losing the title, I see. A suspension, even 90 days. You know what I mean? I see. Make her miss the Rumble.
We'll talk about suspensions allegedly.
Yeah, we will. But
yeah.
I feel that would have been good because now you have two superstars, Gigi and JC, that are gonna where they go from here. Yeah, they're a good tag team, but they always had that third person to kind of play off of. And you know what? We gonna throw Sonya Deville in that role or something now, or
Probably.
something stupid. But I think there's way more to this than meets the eye, and I feel that the firing was an overreaction because she just had about 2 years left on her contract. She signed a 5-year deal back in 2019, so she still has quite a bit of time left on that contract too. So
I think a lot of it had to probably do with the finances. WWE loves to make money off of their talent, and when they find out that they're not, basically, I don't know what that site was and how she promoted herself.
Yeah, I'm not
Mandy
sure
Rose
either.
or whatever, or her other, real name. Because we know what's her real name, by the way? Do we know that?
I
think Amanda.
I can
Amanda
Google
somewhere.
it real quick.
So if AEW wanted to make a deal with her and bring her in and promote her as a sex goddess and be and do that back to WWE, I would think that would be creative. I don't know if TBS TNT would want that. I was going to see if Josh wanted to come back at you, Colin, with anything, but I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, her real name's Amanda Rose. I'm not even going to try to butcher this last name. Sorry.
Sacramento.
Yeah. So Amanda Rose is really her real, technically Mandy Rose was probably a nickname growing up too.
Yeah.
Who knows? But where'd Josh go? You okay, buddy?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
He took a call.
Okay. So, anyway, we got to move on. Aaron, over to you now. I don't know if any super chats came in, and if you would like to speak your mind here on Mandy Rose. Now we got Sasha Banks, a free agent, Naomi, and Mandy Rose potentially here. And, hey, telling you what, that's a lot available for the female talent out in the wrestling world.
I'd
All
say
right.
bring her
Okay,
in
I'm
real
back.
quick to AEW and have her beat Jade Cargill.
Josh, anything else you wanted to reply back to Colin before I send it over to Aaron?
Here's the thing. You mentioned, Rollins and all that stuff, and, the Usos and their DUI things. Here's the thing. Mandy was specifically putting her stuff up on a site.
Yeah, she was
for
putting
people to
certain
pay.
stuff. No, some of her stuff was actually leaked, though. If you did see, so there's you have different files on stuff. Some stuff is made private, some stuff is made public. If someone gains access to your whole account and makes all that, that is someone hacking your shit. That is the same thing that happened with Paige and Rollins and Ricochet and Charlotte, whatever that was. Like, no. So thank you, G, for remembering.
Now,
But
Now, to be fair,
if
if you have anything like that is hacked, which is wrong, if you have anything like that you're doing as a celebrity and there's footage of it and it could leak and it costs you reputation, that's on you. Like, I know people can do their own thing in private, but I'm telling you, celebrities, professionals have to be smarter about stuff sometimes.
they have to, but they can only be so smart because in the world of cyber warfare and cyber everything, my laptop can be hacked, my Alexa can be hacked. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm surprised my dab pen isn't hacked. Like
Right. And I know Mandy's engaged, so so
There you go.
Yeah.
But let's move on.
Look at you knowing that. All right, so Josh, are you good? Ready for pass it over to Aaron?
Okay.
only other thing I was going to say is with, the Usos, they are working on trying to, calm their crap. Mandy refused to stop with her subscription service. That's the difference. Mandy would have stopped, a suspension or losing the title. That's probably all they would have done. But she refused to stop. Ergo, they had no choice. And I could care less what all the, horny boys, hers in the chat, want to say about me trying to go find it or whatever, or, Triple H's OnlyFans or whatever. I could care less what you guys say, really.
It's all good, Josh. Speak your mind. That's what this platform was for. Okay, Aaron, over to you.
Well, that was interesting.
We knew it would be.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of unanswered questions about all this. Did she refuse to take down the website? The rumor is that she was making more money off of the website than what she was being paid by WWE for an apparent main roster contract, which is quite a bit of money, I would think.
Ching, ching.
I did not even know about this website either until all this
Me either.
news broke.
Same.
And I can only imagine like what her sales have probably been the past 24 hours. You have to imagine they're through the roof. And apparently she raised the price of her lower tier or whatever the bottom tier is to get on the website. It's definitely a surprise. I was not expecting it. On Tuesday night, when they did the title change, I thought, well, they're just going to rush her and Toxic Attraction to the main roster. And then next day she's released and all this stuff comes out about this website and these explicit photos and maybe even videos. I have not seen any of this stuff, so I don't know how explicit it was, but apparently it was enough to where Matt Bloom on Tuesday night had a meeting with Shawn Michaels apparently and told him about the content. And that's when Shawn Michaels was like, we have to get the title off of her now. And maybe they overreacted. Maybe they should have suspended her or just waited a little bit to see if things would blow over and maybe they could come to some sort of compromise with it. But she's gone. Will she be back? Would not shock me. This very well could be like Zelina Vega, where she left and she did not want to give up her Twitch channel and she did end up coming back. Maybe Mandy Rose does come back. Maybe not. Maybe she goes to AEW, Impact Wrestling. I'm sure that there are plenty of options for her if she wants to keep wrestling. Nonetheless, interesting story for sure. And perhaps once we get more information, we'll be able to see the full picture and not just get these little snippets and have to come to conclusions about what actually happened. Wish her the best. And I suspect she'll be just fine with that website. Now
Like
we do have.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Well, like Tito mentioned earlier in the comment, how ironic Shawn Michaels is the one, like, of all people. Like, boy, is he grown up? Is he Mr. Corporate?
He is
now?
Mr.
Like
Corporate.
that's funny.
Yeah,
That's ironic.
He's got to play corporate boy right now.
Psycho Jet Black sent in $2. Says, seriously, why didn't WWE just suspend Mandy? Again, we don't know.
Mhm.
She
Maybe
refused
they
to
just
stop.
felt like that she was out of line by putting up more explicit content. Apparently, they did know about the site beforehand, but she maybe went too far. Again, I haven't seen any of the photos or videos, but all I've heard is that they were pretty explicit, and it was enough for them to get rid of her. So it is what it is. And the Real Wyatt sent in a $2 super chat. Thank you for that. Says, does this give China vibes, and where does TA go now? Not necessarily China vibes. I guess people think of when Triple H made that comment about not wanting people to Google China's name and seeing the adult stuff. I suppose it does in that sense, but as far as China's actual departure goes, I mean, that had nothing to do with any adult content. That was a money issue between China and WWE. So, yeah, I mean, WWE is a PG company. They were several years ago when Triple H made that comment, and they still are now. Walter Cruz sent in a $10 super chat. Thank you, Walter. Walter, sometimes on the panel. Tonight, he says, it's a bit hypocritical of WWE's Mandy's whole gimmick is how sexy she is. They told Athena to be sexy like her, so it is okay for them to profit from her sexiness, but not for her to profit from it. Wow. Well, I think it's a different scenario. It's one thing to go out there and portray a sexy television character in the realms of a PG environment. It's another thing to actually post adult content. Now, I do get Colin's perspective on it. It was behind a paywall, and legally you're not supposed to republish her content, and kids are technically not supposed to be going on an adult paywall site. So the likelihood is that little kids are not going to be seeing that content unless people are illegally reposting it on Twitter or other websites.
Said it's so easy to hack into something nowadays. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And I also get Colin's approach about the whole Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso situation and how they actually broke the law and could have killed somebody, and they're not only still with the company, they're being pushed.
And then got the titles the next effing week.
Yeah, I mean, the whole morals and where you draw the line, what is acceptable, what's not.
If you want to hear my full rant on that, you can go find the timeline and go back and find that review, and you can get it all there because it's a banger. So go check that out.
John Millard sent in a comment here. This is about Vince, so we'll skip that now. Yeah, we're caught up now.
All right, so we got our little buffer contract here, and we got to talk about some Matt Riddle, who more allegedness here that he was written off TV in this injury angle because this was his second time potentially busted for performance enhancing or whatever drugs he had in his system if they do drug tests. Now, Aaron, they don't, from our knowledge, WWE does not test for marijuana anymore, correct?
Right.
Okay. You would think immediately that's if these were true, because remember he was supposed to have a match against Rollins at SummerSlam, and that got pushed back a month. And could that have been around when the first thing happened, and now all of a sudden he's off TV for 6 weeks? And if it's not marijuana, you think of Matt Riddle, not a big dude. Is he taking steroids? Like, what the hell? This is kind of baffling to me. He's been with WWE for a long time. We know that he basically lost his UFC career because he wanted to smoke marijuana. This is not the case here. So what's going on with Matt Riddle, man? Like, Colin, I'm going to start with you. It's speculation right now, right? Even if he is suspended. Yeah. But, like, say we're going off these rumors. How in the hell did he get suspended for what? Like, I'm just baffled. You know, I'm a big Riddle supporter.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I am baffled here. What do you think?
All right, so here's my honest opinion I smoke weed every single day. I have a medical marijuana card for the state of Ohio. I think it's a fantastic thing. It does a lot more than pharmaceuticals do. But anyways, for me, I feel if it had to be anything, it'd probably be like a MDMA or something, or up to a cocaine.
Okay.
Besides that, because I don't see Riddle taking steroids, but he's the party bro. He's the bro. He's the dude. You want to hit the bong, bro. And I could see him taking, something like Molly, which is a party drug, or acid, or what all categorizes underneath the MDMA family. Or coke's a party drug too. Those are my two guesses, if anything, because if WWE still tests for marijuana, they're absolutely idiotic and need to knock that off immediately, because that's disgusting. I'd rather have my dudes smoking some weed to help their body feel better than taking a pharmaceutical, because we all see where Jeff Hardy is today and all that great stuff. Whatever he's doing now. But Matt Riddle, I saw the report come out. Maybe that's why he missed that match back at SummerSlam, and that didn't happen. And it can make sense. Matt Riddle's year has not been kind of the best in the
Think of what he went through personally.
Yeah,
his
personal life. His personal life can make you do different things. I mean, obviously I've been through a lot and dealt a lot, and this, that, and the other, but glad to say I drink a little bit, I smoke, whatever, it is what it is, but I don't do anything else anymore, and it's been like that for like 10 years almost. But so Adrian, I'm not the drug reporter. I just have facts, because we all have real life. So it's that, but I hope whatever it is, he just gets it right, because
changing the laundry.
Yeah, there he goes. Is he pulling out a steak for dinner? What are you doing? What are you doing over there? Oh, he's refilling. He's refilling that
View
Hershey
of that
quarter.
big G booty.
But yeah, I think it's kind of crazy. I hope he gets things right and figures out his inner bro. But yeah, it's kind of messed up, because I really didn't see Riddle like that, just because I always figured, hey, he's just a stoner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it. But again, like we've said, he's gone through a divorce this year. His kids left, his wife, everything. You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes, bro's got a bro, but I guess this bro is a no-go this time. So
yeah, and Colin, huge opportunity, in my opinion, for WWE here. If he's in rehab and he gets everything right, if this is all true, this is the perfect time to bring him back with the character change, attitude change, turn something bad into something good. Now, Big G, I'm coming over to you, because the elephant in the room is not that. We don't know all the facts yet, and we'll see what happens if and when he does come back.
Right.
The whole stuff that if everything we've talked about on this review so far, say they both are true, Matt Riddle's still employed with WWE.
Right.
Usos, like Collins mentioned, obviously look at what, working with Orton, Usos working with Roman Reigns, Mandy Rose, yeah, we can fire you. What's your whole take here with Riddle and the connection of one versus the other, what I just said?
Like, where does WWE draw the line, So the whole Riddle thing, we all know his past. Like you said, virtue with him being UFC, he wanted to smoke marijuana and stuff like that. And now marijuana is getting legal in every state, and you can get a medical marijuana card to smoke it and stuff like that. Which I'm trying to work on myself. Anyways,
good luck.
I know. It could have been coke, it could have been painkillers, it could have been any kind of drug, and WWE tested him. It was a random drug test, and something came up, and he got suspended. Now, Collins brought it up plenty of times, Jimmy and Jay with the DUIs and stuff like that, and here they are 510 days later tag champs. You know, they got, you know, I can't remember if it was Jimmy or Jay who had the latest DUI, but they got rewarded for it.
It was Jay.
It was Jay, okay.
It was Jay.
And they get rewarded for it, you know. Riddle here gets suspended because he failed a drug test. Mandy gets fired for
Showing
adult
titties.
photos getting leaked. Like I said before, where does WWE draw the line? Like, do they pick favorites and say, all right, well, Jay?
Well, Big G, that's why I think a lot of the Mandy Rose stuff maybe had to do with her making money.
Right.
That they got no part, that WWE didn't make a part of. You know what I mean?
And another thing, And another thing, like Riddle, you know, like I said, I'm going to go back to the painkillers. He's been doing the RKO for well over a year now, and we know where Randy's at now with doing all those RKOs. His back is pretty much messed up. So, you know, you kind of figure him being in the ring over and over again, your body's it's gonna take a toll on you. So I figure it's a major painkiller that got him suspended.
That's a good call, man.
Remember back in 2006 with RVD and Sabu, you know, they got pulled over because they were
in Ohio.
You know, Big G, I've been saying all along,
so
like Matt Riddle was like that.
I'm gonna
Shawn Michaels to Vince McMahon.
Right.
Let me just
say this one more time again, so everybody hears in the NoDQ Galaxy hears it. Where does WWE draw the line?
In the sand. Wasn't that Evolution's?
Yeah, man, it's a banger.
The thing with Matt Riddle, had a pretty bad year. Like in terms of Randy got hurt when he was they were hot as a tag team. Vince McMahon, who I think loved Riddle and pushed him on TV, gone. And the whole divorce situation. I mean, things like that make people do, but I don't know. Josh, what do you think here? Matt Riddle allegedly being suspended 2 failed drug tests, if that's true, man.
Yeah. And
Randy's failed drug tests before, too. His tag team partner that's now out injured has failed drug tests in the past.
Yes. And then he had, I think the system is after a certain number of time, your strikes get removed after a certain time of good behavior. Because I think that happened to Orton, or he would have been fired a long time ago. But I'll just say real quickly to piggyback off of the last part with Big G, Riddle agreed to go get help. Mandy refused to take the content down. That's the difference right there. Now, what it was Riddle tested positive for in the drug test, I don't know. I've heard cocaine. It's obviously not weed. WWE, or I forget who it was, revealed that WWE no longer tests for weed in their drug policy, that they haven't done that for years. So it wasn't that. And I believe it was a failed drug test before that got his SummerSlam match pushed back as well. I feel for the guy. He's had a rough year. You know, his family situation, his tag team partner getting hurt, and that entire, segment and story getting shut down. The guy, if he needs help, good on him for going and agreeing to go get help, unlike what Jeff Hardy initially did with leaving WWE. Because I don't buy it for a second, Jeff Hardy's, I just decided I was done, tagged out mid-match and went through the crowd just because I was done. I don't buy that crap for a minute.
So, real quick. So, if Riddle, he failed that drug test back in August or July, because end of July, and missed that match, would that have been like his first warning, like when Mandy was warned to take down her site, and then he did it again, and he just got a 30-day suspension. Go to rehab.
The second time is a 60-day suspension.
Yeah, okay, but he just got a suspension, but Mandy got fired.
Riddle agreed to go to rehab. Mandy refused to take down her stuff. If she would have agreed to take down Varanchi, pretty much.
I think it's monetary stuff that led to her more than anything else. WWE's not making money off of it, and that's like that's what they do. I think.
I mean, nipples and oranges, dude. I don't know. Like,
Somewhere Robbie Vice has to be loving this topic about Matt
oh
Riddle.
God!
We
Shout out to
know.
Robbie Vice, man. We miss you,
God.
buddy.
All right, Josh, anything else? Because Aaron's been waiting to talk and some super chats have come in. And we got to get to Vince McMahon. So
Yeah,
right.
that's all. Like, I just hope
Okay.
Riddle gets everything straightened around, and I'll deal with Billy's super chat in a bit.
All right, Aaron.
All right, so a couple of things we need to make clear here. First of all, it was Jimmy who was arrested last
The
year.
latest. All right.
Yeah, it was
I
Jimmy.
still can't tell them apart, dude. I still can't.
I can't.
Jimmy
know.
has longer hair. I can tell them apart now. For the longest time, I could not tell them apart until main event Jay Uso.
Has the short hair.
Yep.
Jay has the short hair.
All right, so I'm just going to say this about Riddle. There was one outlet that reported that he was going to rehab and suspended and all that. I have not seen another reputable wrestling site confirm this independently. So right now, I'm not going to comment on Riddle unless more information comes out. What I will say about him is this. I do hope that when he does come back, like Virtue said, we see an overhaul with his character. I think it's overdue. I think the stoner comedy gimmick has played itself out. And regardless of what's going on behind the scenes, I hope he comes back, he's healthy, and he gets a fresh start, change up the gimmick, do something different. And that's pretty much all I have to say about Riddle at this time.
Wasn't it the most reputable
comes
site that brought this out? Like, who was it? Was it Alvarez? Who's the one?
It was bodyslam.net that reported it. But I have not seen anybody else independently confirm it.
And if it ain't true, WWE, like, what do they think when they see stuff like this come out?
And
like,
plus,
that has to piss them off.
to say that somebody's allegedly failing a drug test, that's a big deal. So I'd rather err on the side of caution here and not speculate about it until more information comes out. We know his personal life, there's been issues. No doubt there's been tons of that's been public. So yeah, his personal life is one thing, but as far as possible drug test failures, we'll just wait and see if more information comes out about that. I mean, nothing has been publicly denied up to this point. No statement from Riddle denying it. Nothing has come out over the past 2 days. So we'll see what happens on that. Now, we do have some super chats, which we'll get to here. Psycho Jet Black sent in $5. Thank you for that. He says, do you think it's possible they suspended Riddle because he was under the influence during the show and they didn't want him to hurt anyone in the ring? I mean, anything's possible, but I would hope not. I would hope that nobody would get in the ring under the influence and wrestle. I mean, we saw what happened at Victory Road 2011, and that was a disaster, and hopefully nothing like that ever happens again. So yeah, I would hope not, but anything is possible. No evidence that Riddle was off. I don't recall any match where he seemed like something wasn't right. Like with Jeff Hardy, you could obviously tell he was not in the right frame of mind. Big G?
So I'm here on Google. I just typed in Matt Riddle drugs, and I'm getting sources from Forbes that he was reportedly failed a second in drug test while attend rehab from 411 Mania.
Well, keep in mind, they're all
purged from just that one source.
Right. It's all coming from Body Slam.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, from Body Slam. Yeah, bodyslam.net. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, Forbes has turned into a National Enquirer anyway. So.
But don't you like their AEW Rampage reports?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun, but hey, they change with the times and they get the viewers, so that's what they do. They know what they're doing.
Walter Cruz sent in a $5 super chat. Says, "Hey, we all have vices, like Robbie Vice. I hope Matt Riddle gets it together and comes back, and I hope Jeff Hardy is okay. Also, like, share, hashtag stick to my shtick." Thank you for that, Walter.
There it is.
Walter Cruz keeping his position here.
Walter Cruz is always feeling merchy. Colin's feeling merchy. Big G feeling merchy. I'm a little surprised. Well, Virtue's always feeling merchy. And what's up with the lack of NoDQ merch, Josh Mansfield?
Disappointed.
It's all downstairs in the basement. I didn't want to go down to the basement because it's dark.
Oh, you're not already down there? No.
What?
Oh.
What was that, Virtue?
I said, you're not already down there?
No, I'm up in my living room.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, Psychojet Black has an interesting super chat, which we'll get to here in a second before we get to our main event. So thank you, Walter. Billy L sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, Billy L. Says, so was Josh present during this meeting, or is he just assuming stuff and acting like it's facts? Josh?
Now, which things are you talking about? Are you talking about Riddle or Mandy Rose? Mandy Rose, I'm actually reading the reports of what's been reported from Fightful Select and others, because everyone's
there
just
he
going
is.
like,
Fightful
oh,
Select.
Mandy
That
Rose-
means he
Sharp
pays
ass
for it.
sap.
Oh, my God. I got to go. All right, I'm just kidding. I had to throw that in.
We know whose OnlyFans Josh would subscribe to if
All right,
No,
Josh, go ahead.
there
Go
was
ahead.
one.
Now,
Go ahead, Josh.
Again, because everyone's just saying, seeing that, Mandy Rose got fired for pictures, and they're calling for WWE's head. You actually look at the reports, actually look at everything, and you see, no, WWE's on the right here. Pretty much.
We got to get Josh on with Big Vito one of these days.
Oh my God! Yes.
I'm telling you, we got some stuff coming up in the new year, so stay tuned.
All right. So Psychojet Black sent in a $2 super chat. He says, imagine WWE money off of drugs and OnlyFans. Well, they get money from Saudi Arabia.
Right.
So there's that.
Still, I would take a nipple over that, dude. Sorry, just saying.
Free the nipple. It's not like Mandy
that
went
hashtag
on her
going
Twitter account and posted full frontal nude photos. She posted content on her paywall, and none of us here even knew she had this paywall website to begin with. So I highly doubt that somebody went on Google and typed in Mandy Rose and found her adult website and was able to see the photo. So, yeah, I mean, I'm totally with Colin on that. I think that breaking the law is a lot worse than posting adult photos on your paywall website.
There's the hashtag. Thank you, dude.
What
There's
you
the
do
hashtag.
outside of the company you're working for, as long as you're not breaking the law, I think you got to let them do their thing.
This is the grown-ups table, Josh. Hold on, okay? We're getting into this.
All right. Okay, so Psychojet Black sent in $2. Virtue, I want you to answer this one. Probably none will be your
Here we
answer.
go.
Seriously, which journalists do you guys trust?
When WWE, I don't even trust when WWE announces news because they
'Cause
could
it's
work.
kayfabe.
Because they could work, but I guess I don't even know. I mean, the ones that report the most accurate news, and the only way we really know that is we have to go back, whether it's Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer, Fightful, Wade Keller, the PW Insider, whatever, and see what things did end up coming true that they initially broke. And I don't know, did Brandon Thurston, he should go, that's what he should do, the WrestleNomics guy. He should go and find out who's the most accurate dirt sheet. Because I don't know, Aaron. I don't know.
As somebody who's been running a wrestling website now for 20 plus years, I would
Things
say
do
Mike
come
Johnson, PW Insider, is one of the more accurate ones.
I would probably, if I had to pick, I would even pick them over Meltzer. I honestly would.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the wrestling journalists don't come off as the most likable guys, but some of them are pretty accurate, more than you might think. The problem is that there's so many Facebook groups out there and Instagram accounts that will twist the words around and things get spread and they're attributed to wrestling journalists and writers, and that's not what they actually said. So, you know, people like to shit on Meltzer a lot, but he's not as bad as people make him out to be.
Here's Meltzer's vice. He does not admit when he's wrong. If he would just like say, hey, I got this one wrong, but I'll make sure try to get all the other ones right. He just, it's always something changed.
Is Josh agreeing with Tito?
So he can never
Yes,
be wrong.
I'm agreeing
That's
with Tito
Meltzer's
for
problem.
once. I'm agreeing with Tito for once.
Anyways,
It's a Christmas miracle.
I mean, everything you read on the internet, I always say this, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Now, I try not to put stuff that's complete bullshit on NoDQ, but I mean, there are a lot of rumors and gossip out there, and just don't take it too seriously. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, main event time, Aaron.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so more rumors. This show has been the hashtag rumors right here.
Gotcha.
Hashtag allegedly. But like, and this is something until the day he takes his last breath or he's so sick. But if Vince McMahon is walking, and we've seen pictures leak of him on dates out there in the wild, he could come back. There's always a time he could come back. Like, I don't know what happened with all that. I guess WWE spent more money on the investigation to find out how much money that he used that was corporate money. I don't know the facts for sure, but allegedly they put money into that. Like, there's no reason why he couldn't come back at some point other than he's old and he shouldn't. And I don't know how the board would even consider this. So I take this, as much as I like when Vince is in charge because it ruffles people's feather, I can't see it happening. But never say never in wrestling, right, Aaron? So Josh Mansfield, because you're this huge Triple H in charge guy, I'm coming to you first here. I'm on the record for saying I can't see it ever happening at this point. I think once he was out, he was out. But if there's ever a way a string could get pulled, I believe Vince could find it. What do you think?
I don't think it was a coincidence that the Wall Street Journal, they were the ones that first reported this, that Vince was telling people close to him he wants to make a comeback. I don't think that it was a coincidence that they put that in there when they were breaking a story of more assault lawsuits against Vince. That wasn't a mistake. And the fact that it came out right before the Vice documentary, which, yes, it was mostly Dark Side of the Ring clips, and then just things of the new allegations that came out over the summer. Yeah, I do not see the family allowing Vince to come back. Just because he has the majority of the voting power still does not mean that he can just waltz right back in. The board would still have to all vote him to come back in, and that's not going to happen. I believe it was even, I forget which side it was, if it was Sean and Fightful, that said even those close to Vince, who were allies of Vince in WWE, do not want him back. No one in WWE legitimately thinks him actually coming back would be a good idea. Morale is up, ratings are up, the product is better. Contrary to what Tito and his retirement home says.
What? Okay, I don't know about that one there, but okay.
Everything has been better since
Ric Flair wants Vince back.
I don't care what that old senile pervert says. I could care less.
Alleged pervert.
Josh, I don't know about him coming back and Empower. I mean, he still owns like 30% stocks, which is more than anybody. He's still always going to make millions of dollars off of this company, whether he's a boss or not. I definitely could see him back on TV one day somehow, like just for an appearance, like when all this is way gone down the road. That I can see. But I'm even doubting about him ever coming back because of his age. If this was like 58-year-old Vince McMahon, I would sing a different tune. But this is almost 80-year-old Vince McMahon. I think Father Time has finally got him.
If they want the stocks to plummet, then that'll be what happens if Vince comes back. Stocks went up big when Vince retired and Triple H took over. That's what matters.
Did they really?
Yeah, stocks went up when Vince retired. And
Virtue, you've been paying attention to the stocks. I thought like they were doing really well.
Stocks were never contingent on the whole Vince McMahon or anything. It's just the fact that how they make money, how they bring in money, the events that they've done, the merch that they've sold, the Saudi Arabia deals, and that's all been cooking this year, even when Vince was still here. And so, like, I don't think that had anything to do with Vince. I think if this never happened with Vince, their stocks would still be where they're at right now. Brandon Thurston would know better than I would. Anything else you want to add, Josh?
Not really. Just It's not going to happen.
Okay. Big G.
Yes.
Pal.
As his theme songs used to say, there's no chance in hell that this 80-year-old man. You look at those pictures that were taken of him. He has aged, like you said, Virtue. Father Time.
Makeup. He doesn't have makeup on when he's out in the wild. I don't.
But Father Time has caught up to. Yeah. I don't.
76-year-old man looks like a
I don't know what else
76-year-old
to say.
man.
What else hasn't been said? I mean, I don't want him to come back. I don't think anybody wants him to come back. You know,
I do, just because I know it pissed so many people
I know
off,
you
and I'd
do,
love
just to piss
to
people
use
off,
it.
but
Oh yeah, it would be
it's
great.
like, I mean,
For
there's
1 year,
reports
just 1
going
year.
out there that even Josh said morale's gone up. I'm not going to agree that the ratings have gone up. I'm not going to say that. You know, and I know I think Aaron posted yesterday that Triple H there's some feeling underwhelmed with some of the people he brought back already, and it's just a whole ordeal. And you know, if he does come back, it'll be for a Hall of Fame. But I don't even think he wants to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
But if he gives all that up and like Triple H and Stephanie start doing the Hall of Fame, I could very well see them put Dad in there for sure.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
his father was inducted into the Hall of Fame, but that was after he had passed away.
Yeah,
that's how the only way Vince is going to be inducted is after he passes away. He's going to be inducted posthumously. But I mean, there's nothing really much else to say unless we get something revealing or, you know, saying this is all false and this is all made up, and then he'll come back. But
yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is, and we like talking about Vince. So I'm glad this rumor came up, true or not, because we're talking about Vince, and we got over 100 live viewers. All right, Colin, over to you. Thanks for being patient.
Oh, you're welcome. Of course. All right, so what's a bigger liability right now to WWE? Vince McMahon coming out or a leaked picture of Mandy Rose's butthole? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is the bigger liability? I'm going to go with Vince for 800, Alex. Like, I honestly feel that if he comes back, it is just going to be the worst possibility ever for a lot of things in WWE. I mean, maybe come back as I don't know, someone walks into the office and Vince is in there and they just kind of eye each other up and that's that, or a Hall of Fame deal or something. But I do not want to see him back. He's 76, 77, somewhere around there. He needs to, his legacy is his legacy. And he, with all the allegations and stuff, I feel, yes, it's tarnished. But again, at the same time, he's had so much success that down the line, some of that stuff's going to be forgot. And not everything has come out yet either. So I would really not like to see that. I feel that he's in a position now that he can ride off into the sunset, spend time being grandpa. And, you know, I don't know if him and Linda still like each other or not after all these years, but maybe hang out. I don't know. But I feel he just needs to stay as far away as possible. I mean, thanks for everything he's done. But again, like, you know, hey, man, just take your ball, go home.
He did get Roman over with the whole bloodline thing, all that hard work, and he was persistent with it, and it finally worked. You know, the whole Austin Theory thing, that's still got to be right. But again, Austin Theory's been strong after that, losing the contract. So that type of stuff would be why he would want, like, he's just, I think if he feels he's got strings left undone, like not tied up, but how do you get back in when the board makes these decisions? Now, he did step down, right? He's the one that retired. So I don't know all that legal mumbo jumbo and stuff when that happens. I mean, I'm pretty sure once you're replaced, you don't just come back unless the board votes. And I don't think that's going to happen. He can sit there and make all that money off those 30% stocks. Again, nobody's even close to owning that many, even though that's not a majority. He's going to make bank on WWE for the rest of his life, and so will his family. Okay, over to you, Aaron. And I saw a bunch of super chats. So
yeah.
Here we go.
Man, this is crazy. Just when you thought he was out, he pulls himself back in, or at least he's going to try and pull himself back in.
Like the Freddy Krueger.
Better not.
I will say this about Vince. He is a man with balls of steel. Grapefruits, as he calls them.
Giant.
I don't think they're grapefruits anymore. They're more like grapes.
I could totally see him trying. Will he succeed?
He'll legally pay for attorneys to make it happen. No, for sure.
I would be surprised. But I never thought he was going to step down in the first place.
Yep.
I never imagined a WWE without Vince McMahon running it while he's still alive. So
Healthy, yeah.
anything can happen. If he shows up one day on WWE television, I will not be totally shocked. Now, for him to run the company again, I think that is very unlikely. That would surprise me if he was back in power like he was before.
Now, Aaron, were there times in the past that Linda was technically in charge on the board more than him, but Vince still ran the show? Like if you go back the last 20 years, I swear there was a couple times Linda or somebody was ahead of him, like at least on the board. Because I don't know. We'd have to go back and do that research, but I feel like he still ultimately always had that power. Right?
I feel like he's always been the guy. I don't think he's ever really let go of any of his power. He's always been making the final shots. Other people might have influence, but at the end of the day, the buck stopped with him.
I believe the steroid scandal was he was giving more power to Linda then in case he went to jail.
Let's see here. We do have some super chats. Psychojet Black sent in $2. Says Vince McMahon should buy the NWA or Impact Wrestling to fight WWE.
I mean, I wouldn't put past him. Buying some wrestling promotion to try to make it something to compete. Remember, because he did the XFL.
What?
He'll do anything.
What if he showed up in AEW?
Like how much would Tony Khan have to pay him to show up on just
what
one
if he
episode?
just called up Tony Khan and says, let's do something for fun just to shake up the industry and get people talking. It's good for business.
I don't know if Tony Khan would do that because he would have to. Tony Khan would have to step behind his shadow. Behind Vince's shadow. I don't know if Tony Khan.
He'd be a mark for it.
He would be hugging his ass the entire time down the ramp. Vince
he would be.
He'd be
you know how the dog humps your leg when you're walking? That would be Tony Khan to Vince McMahon.
We're reaching here. We're reaching.
Fair point, but with all the allegations on Vince, Tony wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole.
I don't know, dude. Tony likes cocaine, so
if Vince McMahon called up Tony Khan would have Vince McMahon on AEW Dynamite the next Wednesday.
Nope.
He would. Now, I don't think Vince would ever do it.
I would have to call off work the next day. I would be so shocked.
If that happens, you come over.
I would have to be writing a column. Like if the internet would blow up for Aaron.
Like Vince isn't doing it to kill his creation or anything. He just wants to do it to have fun. You know, just be a TV character like Bischoff. That would.
Jesus.
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I know people are laughing and they think it's crazy, but we never thought Vince was going to retire legitimately.
No, that's true.
Okay, think of the people that Tony Khan already has blacklisted from AEW, including Hulk Hogan. You really think he's going to bring in Vince McMahon with all these assault allegations?
Hulk Hogan means nothing. Hulk Hogan on AEW means less than nothing.
The drizzling shits.
I mean, Hulk Hogan couldn't turn TNA around, so like that ship's definitely sailed.
Nobody gives a shit about Hulk Hogan going to TNA. Not TNA, AEW.
Next.
I agree, but that's just
Vince, on the other hand, that would be the most shocking moment in wrestling history, I think. If he did that. But as Vince himself said, anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then he retired.
Wait, no, they got to have Shane show up first, like Scott Hall did, saying he's coming. Like they would play the whole end. Now you could do the whole NWO thing. Dude, could you imagine? Oh my God, Aaron. We got to get out of this rabbit hole.
Shane to AEW.
I don't want to be here till 9:30. So
no, I'm hungry.
All right. Harold Warren sent in a very generous $20 super chat, and he may have sent two $20 super chats.
The same exact thing
with the same comment. So, I mean, thank you very much for that, Harold. Very much appreciated, and I will answer this as thoroughly as possible. He says, if Vince does return, I wouldn't be surprised for the likes of Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett, and the list goes on. It wouldn't be surprised they'd be future endeavored this time next year.
Yeah.
I mean, if he did come back, you would certainly have to be concerned for the people that Triple H rehired. That's for damn sure, unless these guys catch on fire over the next couple of months or year or whenever.
This is Vince coming back to WWE. It's like, didn't I fire you, pal? And you, and I fired you too.
What year is it?
It would be
Like-
like the
Groundhog Day.
simulcast Raw when WCW was bought. He'd have Karrion Kross on one monitor and Johnny Gargano in the other, and then he would publicly fire their asses, and that would be the big return of Vince McMahon.
I mean, let's be honest. Would Vince even remember who he fired? He didn't even remember that he fired Jimmy Wang Yang.
Who?
Do you
Yeah, he
remember
probably
that
doesn't
story?
remember those guys, to be honest. He probably doesn't remember firing Karrion Kross.
Wait, was that like the Asian cowboy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Vince didn't remember that he fired him.
Well,
when he
not
was-
a lot of people remember he just existed. Period. So
I did love
You-
those vignettes, though. Jimmy Wayne.
you're one of the
vignettes.
few. You're one of the few. It was a long time ago. I'm surprised.
A
you
lot of
remember.
people, they're all over. A lot of people like to him, to Jimmy Wang Yang, chopsticks was just a piece of wood.
That's
All right,
going way back.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Says Josh Mansfield with Triple H on his corner versus Virtue with Vince McMahon on his corner. Ladder match with contract for WWE ownership at WrestleMania.
Sure, why not? What do I have to lose? I'll
Yeah,
take the
just
spot. I'll
rip
take
off
the
my
paint.
prosthetic leg and, kick Virtue in the dick with it.
Jeez.
Wow.
Are you gonna Zach
We need
Gowen
Vito
this shit?
and Josh
I'll bring
Mansfield
Zach
on
Gowen with me.
NoDQ
He'll take
review.
you out.
Right?
Oh my god.
Hey, I got.
Man, I
hey,
think
I
this
got
is
my
no
grudges
DQ
with him.
after
I'm a
dark already.
backup. I'm a backup besides Triple H.
What do you have?
I mean,
Two
who do you-
prosthetics?
Huh?
I thought you were talking about a backup leg. I'm like, do you have two
I mean, I
prosthetics?
do,
Like,
but
you have a
that's
backup-
besides the
just-
point.
Okay, that's where I was.
Hey,
Like, I'll have
Vince
backups.
Vince McMahon's on my side. That means I can have Brock Lesnar on my side. So you lose. Sorry, pal.
Don't know if that means I get Brock. I'd get Roman, so.
Brock is loyal to Vince.
And
All right, let's see
I'll find
here.
ways around Brocky boy.
Anyways, we just went.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says Jimmy Yang is more entertaining than Von Wagner. I agree.
Well, Von Wagner is fucking terrible. Sorry.
Right.
He's
So I
just
mean, the bar
he's
is
just the
very,
worst.
very, very low there.
Oh, that is. Yeah.
Can't
Why
get
is
any
this?
lower
Why
than
is this?
that
Why does this guy have a contract? That's what I want to know.
because he's big and intimidating looking.
He's gonna be the
He
next
looks-
tall guy in WWE.
He looks like if you took Kane's mask off and No Mercy. Like,
Look, I got no DQ logo on my head.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says Vince McMahon versus Jeff Jarrett in an AEW ring.
oh god.
Show that picture.
There we go.
Geriatrics
Big
on a
G
pole match.
would go ahead and buy a ticket, not just a ticket because we know he goes to AEW every time they're in town, but he would shell out the money for front
He
row.
goes to Chicago for AEW, and he lives in almost freaking Maryland. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's not just when they're in town. There it is.
There it is.
There it
He waited
is.
all that time, all those AEW events, and he finally got what he wanted. Even with the CM Punk one that he went to.
I mean, Big G, you have peaked with your AEW attendance because
Oh,
you'll
man.
never get a more epic moment than that right
Nope.
there with Jeff
There
Jarrett.
That show won't- You know what? If CM Punk this show back up on TV, that'd be something. No, I'm kidding.
No, that won't top Jeff Jarrett.
No.
No.
You saw the debut of Jeff Jarrett in AEW.
Yes.
How
So
many
what's-
people can say that? Maybe the 2,500 people that were at Dynamite?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
God.
Dr. Dakota Scorpio sent in a $2 super chat, says, say no to Vince, but say yes to no DQ. I appreciate
Amen.
that, man.
I'll cheer to that.
We can all agree on that. We don't agree on much, but we agree on that. And Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat, says, better chance of coming back to WWE, Vince McMahon or CM Punk? I'll answer first. I actually think CM Punk has a better chance of coming back than Vince at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
We all
Well,
agree
so
on
to
that?
what? Vince is running the company, or Vince showing up as an appearance? Because I think Vince showing up on TV is more likely than CM Punk. But CM
I
Punk
actually
showing
don't.
back up is more likely than Vince running WWE.
Well,
I have a feeling we're going to
Mhm.
see CM Punk on WWE TV within the next year or two.
I'm fine with that.
Unfortunately.
Call it a hunch. But I feel like it's going to happen. And
Unfortunately.
Seth Rollins.
Unfortunately.
What do you mean, unfortunately?
Yeah, like that's.
He can go away. He can go into retirement.
If he showed up, you would pop for that. If you were there, you would pop for him. If
Not
Cult of
really.
Personality
You
played,
take your leg off and start swinging.
Right?
You were going to hit me in the nuts with it. So don't tell me I had no right to say that.
Kayfabe wise.
All right. Okay.
Hey, and if you're ever doing an indie show again in Cleveland, if you need someone to come and get a good pop out of a crowd, just call me up. I'll come
I
up.
know.
Bring me in the ring. I'll take my leg off.
okay, hold on a second. We got to get to the super chat here. Put Vince as the number one entrant at the Royal Rumble. Hey, they had him at WrestleMania. Bring him back as a TV character, like just as a one-off, or bring him in for WrestleMania.
Have him come in at number one. He's going to rip both his quads before he gets to the ring. He's going to be sitting in there, waiting for number two. Just
There's a lot of super chats coming in. Wow, Vince McMahon drawing the numbers tonight. Wow.
No.
Harold Warren sent in a $15 super chat. So Harold is the MVP of the super chats
he's
tonight.
the NoDQ super chat honorary champion.
He's the big baller. Sorry, Big G, you're not the big baller this week.
Send him a beach ball next time you get him, Aaron.
And even Walter's not the big baller this week. He's definitely much appreciated. But Harold is the top of the ladder tonight. He says, if Mr. McMahon does return, I wouldn't be. He'll book Roman Reigns' championship. Reigns will surpass Hulk Hogan's reign. I'm just saying, IJS.
How much longer does Roman need to hold that to beat Hogan's deal?
He's got to be close, right? Well, no, Hogan held it from January of 84 to February of 88. So that's just over 4 years. So Reigns would have to hold it to like October of 2024.
I just want the Universal one to get to 1,000 because I called that way back. That's the only thing I care about.
I mean, at this point, I would not be shocked if he held it till 2024. He could break Hogan's record. I think it's within the realm of possibility at this point.
If he does,
Part
then he
time,
needs
it
to
makes
drop
it
the
easy.
WWE belt.
Yeah, I was going to say he needs to drop at least the whatever one. Yeah, the WWE
title.
Yeah, he needs to drop that at least because I'm sorry, I love it, but there needs to be something else besides Austin Theory and the U.S. title. And then, I mean, I love Gunther in the Intercontinental title, but I feel there needs to just be that if it's in play, it needs to be in play. If they're going to unify it, there needs to be one belt.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We got one more super chat here from City by the Bay. Sent in $2. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Says, Virtue, can I please get your auto?
That
Autograph?
would be my
Autograph?
Your car.
Your
Maybe
car?
he wants your car.
I don't have anything set up like that. Maybe at a NoDQ meetup. Like, I don't know where he's at, but we got to get a NoDQ meetup going out soon.
Yeah, we got to do another one soon. That was really fun.
We got to
It
go to
was.
that barbecue place again that we went to in 2021.
Oh, yeah. Oh, out in Illyria.
You
I
were
couldn't-
not there for that
No,
one.
I just had my cancer surgery like a week beforehand, so I could not.
I couldn't make that one either. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was fun. That was
the
that
food
was
looked great.
really
I checked
good.
out the menu. I was pretty jealous. I'm not going to lie to you.
Psycho Jet Black sent in a $2 super chat. Says AEW's NWO would be Vince, Shane, and Johnny Ace.
Again, Tony wouldn't touch Johnny Ace with a 10-foot pole.
As long as we can have Pete Gas as an honorary member, let's do it. Let's bring back the Mean Street Posse.
I would not be objected to Shane in AEW. Johnny Ace, I think they can keep him home. I don't think anybody gives a shit about Johnny Ace.
I mean, his what is it, son-in-law, Brian Danielson is there, right?
True.
He's got a foot in the door, kid.
God.
Don't be sending my
Hopefully
Shane McMahon
the
to
Bella's mom
AEW.
dumps his ass. Hopefully. That's what should happen. Take
Yeah.
him to court. Take him to divorce court. Get some
I haven't
help.
heard anything about that. Last I heard, they're still together, but they've been very quiet about it. So who knows?
We'll see what happens.
Anyways, Vince McMahon coming back. Unlikely, but never say never. And I feel like he will give it his best college try for sure. And by the way, that documentary, like Josh said, mostly Dark Side of the Ring clips, not really worth checking out. just wanted to throw that out there. And
I agree.
that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight.
We'll go around and do our plugs because we're about 9:15 and we got to go. All right, Big G, I think you're almost wasted over there, but go ahead.
I'm good.
Say goodbye.
Yes, nodq.com/BigBallerG takes you to my Twitter. If you have TikTok, you can follow me there at BigBallerG1988. And yes, Steel City G, even though right now we're not so great right now. But anyways, that's it for me.
All right, thanks for being on. Josh Mansfield.
You're right, G. You guys aren't so great right now, but neither are we. So you can follow me over on Twitter at CatholicJosh122, Instagram Malamangram. You can find my monthly WWE predictions columns over on NoDQ, and once in a while I'll do a ranting column when Tito says something stupid. But other than that, I am a NoDQ Cleveland combatant. Screw Bill Belichick.
All right, thanks for being on. All right, over to you, Cleaver.
All right, if you want to follow me on Twitter, right below me is my Twitter handle NoDQ Colin Andrew. I have some merch up on NoDQ.com's merch, so NoDQ.com/merch. We'll take you there. You can buy my new shirt. Support the Big Vito brand, which I'm also a part of, which is pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. Sorry. I love NoDQ, but that is a really awesome thing for me. And shout out to Miss Noel. I hope you are feeling better soon. And since this is probably my last video appearance for 2022 on the NoDQ channel, I want to wish you all Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy New Year, all that jazz. Have a safe holiday. Be nice to each other and buy some merch and support NoDQ. Support NoDQ as always. And thanks for having me. It's been a while, but I'm glad I was here tonight. So till next time, till next year, probably. If shit lines up, hey, I'll be on in a heartbeat. But as of now, between work mode and dad mode and stuff, this is where we're at. But again, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmaka, whatever you want to do. Boxing Day to my Canadian friends, all that good stuff. But yeah. See you next time, guys.
Thanks for being on. And Aaron, over to you.
All right. Just stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest. Much appreciated to have the NoDQ panelists on tonight. And thank you to everybody for watching. Really fun show tonight. And hopefully we got something big happening on SmackDown. So the next NoDQ review will be just as exciting. Apparently, we're in for something big. The guy that was just recently hired as the director of long form creative.
Marvel,
right?
He's teasing that something's going to happen. It's going to be a show you do not want to miss, and that should give us a good topic. Should give us a good topic. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's either about Bray Wyatt because he's been collaborating with Wyatt, or it's something related to Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. So we'll see. Regardless, Rob V is his name. Thank you, Michael Wayne. SmackDown, I'll be doing my instant live recap, and then depending on what happens, we'll be back with perhaps that as the main event topic of the NoDQ review. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. Tell a friend, spread the word, and stay tuned to NoDQ.com. And by the way, Psycho Jet Black did send in $2. He says, "Do you think we'll see the Bellas in AEW?" No. Do not think so. I think that they are content doing their own projects and being moms. Yep. Don't see any need for them to be in AEW. But you never know. They could make a cameo one day.
Maybe Bree since Brian's there, but that's about it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
In like a battle royal or some shit.
Yeah.
But
there's really no need for them to be in AEW.
There's not. Bree's doing that country show with Carson Daly and
Armageddon.
Yeah. So they're all right.
Yeah.
All right, and like Psycho Jet Black said, say yes to the nipple, and that's it. We'll see you guys next week.
This is going to be short and sweet. Just follow me on Twitter right there at NoDQ_virtue. That's it. Colin already mentioned the merch page. For Aaron, for Colin, for Josh, for Big G. Thanks for watching NoDQ Galaxy. You know what? We'll do this again next time. Good night, everybody.